In 2025, Depaul is marking 20 years of service provision in Northern Ireland, supporting those who are experiencing homelessness or at risk of homelessness. 20 years on, we now have 4 emergency accommodation services and 7 community outreach services operating across Northern Ireland. In 2025, we look back on the last 20 years in Northern Ireland and celebrate the service users, staff, volunteers, supporters and partners who make up the story of Depaul.
So what I've learned during my time with Depaul and what I've really enjoyed working with Depaul is that we've always been motivated and passionate in identifying and implementing new responsive strategies to meet the needs of those within the sector.
I ended up homeless and I didn't know where to turn because homeless was never part of my vocabulary. I didn't even really know what that meant, to be honest. I thought homeless was out there in a tent. I got signposted into this place. You know, it's tough to share space. It's not easy, and it has its moments, but at least there's a common understanding of what we're going through. There isn't any judgment.
I am a caseworker with Depaul Family Services Floating Support. My role is to support families on their homeless journey. I'm assigned to support them with their housing application. My day would start with going out on a floating support visit, carrying out health and wellbeing checks, looking to see if there's any change in circumstances, gathering new evidence, supporting them with their housing application.
I've been an alcoholic for over 40 years and I was homeless for almost 40 years, walking the streets of Belfast, nowhere to go. It was terrible walking the streets of Belfast at night time. People were beating me up and robbing me. I stayed in many hostels in Belfast, but the alcohol was calling me. And I kept drinking and drinking. But the nice people of Depaul brought me in and they've looked after me ever since. The staff are wonderful here. They look out for everybody. They do wee checks on you to make sure you're okay. They check on you at night, you know, to make sure you're okay.
Hi, my name's Brian. I'm a homeless health peer advocate working in Foylehaven Day Centre in Derry. As a person with lived experience of mental health and addiction issues, I don't have to hide stuff away. I can utilise that in the workplace. I strive to improve service users' confidence and taking control of their health, both physical and psychological. For those who were street drinkers or who had alcohol issues, it has changed in so many ways. The criteria we now cater for those who have experienced or are experiencing homelessness, addiction, mental health issues, polysubstance use, where before it was mainly alcohol.
I've been homeless 14 years, living in Dublin and Belfast. When I was in Dublin, I had nowhere to go. I came here 3 years ago. He do everything for me. It's just selfish, like, that we won't be living on the streets.
I've had a led a troubled life due to alcoholism, due to addiction, you know, and in and out of jail as well. But once I come here, it was the wee girl that was in here sort of gave me a second chance at life because I was homeless. Like, this place has given me a second chance to be a father, to be a brother, you know, an uncle, because all them things were gone. And now them things are all back in my life. It's not about what Depaul done for me, it's what the people, the staff in it done for me. Depaul's only a building. You know, take away the staff, how do you get sober in it? It was the staff in here got me sober. You know, it's the staff showed me enough love I started to learn to love myself. And that's the way I look at it anyway, because they done things for me they didn't have to do. Do you know what I mean? They didn't they really didn't have to do it, but they chose to do it anyway. And that showed, I used to go back up to my flat and there's things that I've been emotionally cried about and says like that wee person didn't have to do that for me there. It's like, but that showed me something there. Showed that wee spark of love like that I had lost like. And that's what I held on to, like that wee spark, and just grew with like.
My name's Deirdre Canavan and I'm the Senior Services Manager for Depaul here in Northern Ireland. The number of those we have supported continues to grow. In the last 10 years alone, our service has supported more than 3,500 adults and children in our emergency accommodation. But we also supported more than 1,600 people to exit homelessness. And later this year, we continue to build on our unique services as we launch a service for women leaving prison. This service will be a transition service which will support women to exit the criminal justice system, to integrate back into the community and to rebuild their lives in a positive, supportive way. 20 years ago, most of the services were supported accommodation, hostel environments really, where many people were living under the one roof. But that has changed and we're moving more to a housing first and housing led model. And it's about supporting people within their own homes. It's about preventing people entering into homelessness. So Depaul's vision going forward in the future is to continue to support individuals within the community, to provide that in-reach and outreach support so that they don't end up in homelessness. We remain as committed and as passionate today as we did 20 years ago to end homelessness and change the lives of those affected by it.